Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my YouTube channel Science for Everyone. Today I have brought a new video series about anthrax. In this video series, you will able after watching all these videos, you will be able to know that what basically anthrax is. इस वीडियो ट्यूटोरियल में हम एंथ्राक्स के बारे में डिटेल के साथ पढ़ेंगे कि बेसिकली एंथ्राक्स क्या है और ये कैसे कॉज होता है, इसकी एपिडेमियोलॉजी क्या है, इसकी मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एक्शन क्या है, इसकी डायग्नोसिस हम किस तरह करते हैं और इसकी जो ये बीमारी है एंथ्राक्स, इसकी फिर हम ट्रीटमेंट किस तरह करते हैं और इसके डिफरेंट टाइप्स क्या है कि एंथ्राक्स के ये जब बॉडी को इन्फेक्ट करता है तो ये कहाँ कहाँ जगह इन्फेक्शन कॉज कर सकता है, ये किस तरह का डिजीज है, ये कौन कॉज कर रहा है, इसके सिम्टम्स क्या है, ये सारा कुछ वी विल डिस्कस इन दिस ट्यूटोरियल वीडियो सीरीज. And this video series mostly it consists of 4 parts. So kindly watch all of these 4 parts so that you can easily identify what anthrax is. And if you are sitting with your friends or you are doing your assignment or you are preparing your presentation, so you can easily present it or you can easily write down about anthrax. So stay tuned with all the videos so that you can easily gain knowledge from it. In this video, the part 1, we will just identify, I will just give you a detailed introduction about anthrax and its types and its epidemiology. So let's start with the video. Before starting, before starting anthrax, I want to show you some of the images that what basically anthrax is. This is my style of teaching, so don't get panic because I will also show you each and everything about anthrax. But let's start with a basic concept कि anthrax असल में है क्या चीज. So look to the first picture, a girl having a small black scar on her face. It is known as anthrax. एंथ्राक्स असल में इस चीज को एक लैटिन वर्ड है, ग्रीक या लैटिन वर्ड है, एंड द मीनिंग ऑफ दैट वर्ड इज कोल. कोल मतलब कोयला एंड ब्लैक लाइक कोल. तो ये जो हमारे साथ स्पॉट्स है ये बेसिकली एंथ्राक्स डिजीज को शो करता है. And this disease is caused by a bacteria which is known as Bacillus anthracis. ये हमेशा याद रखें ये एक ऐसा बैक्टीरिया है जो एंथ्राक्स को कॉज करता है. सो एज द नेम इंडिकेट्स द माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म दैट कॉज एंथ्राक्स इज नोन एज Bacillus anthrax. We will also I will also share a small brief introduction of Bacillus anthrax, that what type of bacteria it is. So look to the first picture. It is a small scar on the skin. So it's generally means that it is cutaneous anthrax, means that it mostly infect the skin. Just this is also the picture of cutaneous anthrax. This the man having a black scar on his lips. It is also cutaneous anthrax. It ये जो है स्किन को इफेक्ट करता है, इन्फेक्ट करता है, इन्फेक्शन कॉज कर रहा है. एंड दिस इज ऑल्सो cutaneous anthrax. तो ये 3 पिक्चर्स जो है ये क्यूटेनियस एंथ्राक्स को शो करता है कि तो you simply should know that one type of anthrax is cutaneous anthrax जो हमारे स्किन को इन्फेक्ट करता है. The other one is the GI gastrointestinal anthrax, means that it basically infects the GI tract. And here just look to it, it is here is a small infection, a small scar in we can say in the small intestine. Here is a small intestine. So the second type of anthrax is the GI we can say gastrointestinal anthrax. So this is the second type of anthrax. And the third one is the pulmonary anthrax. It basically infects the lungs. It makes the lungs produces swelling in the lungs and produces fluid in the lungs. and cause a major infection in the lungs. So now we came to know that there are basically three type of anthrax: cutaneous anthrax, gastrointestinal anthrax that infect the GI tract, and pulmonary anthrax it infect the lungs. So I was just giving a brief introduction about anthrax, and these are the signs of the anthrax. Now come to the basic definition. Anthrax. Anthrax is a highly infectious animal disease that can be transmitted to humans. Keep this in mind. Anthrax is basically caused by it is known as zoonotic infection. Mainly the infectious particles are released from an animal, and it is inhaled, or it is eaten up, or it is come in contact with the humans, and infection occur. So keep this in mind. It is an zoonotic infection, and it is basically the animals are included in anthrax is the cattle, goats, and sheep. They produces the spores and the bacteria in their feces, or in their saliva, or in their the air droplets. And when it is inhaled by the humans, or it can come in contact with the blood of the human, so the humans then witness anthrax. So, and basically the what are the products of the animals. So I also mentioned that हमारे साथ जो एनिमल्स है, अगर उसके फीसिस में इंथ्राक्स के स्पीशीज है, एंड व्हेन इट हमारा जो वाटर है, फूड है, उससे कंटामिनेट हो जाए, तो वी कैन गेट द बेसिलस एंथ्राक्स टू अवर बॉडी. अगर हमारा एक वुंड है, और उसके का वो ब्लड निकल रहा है, और उस ब्लड में बेसिलस एंथ्रासिस किसी एनिमल की वजह से लग जाए, सो वी कैन टेक इट टू आवर ब्लड स्ट्रीम. और अगर कोई मीट है, एक एनिमल का मीट है, फॉर एग्जांपल देयर इज गोट मीट, एक हमारे साथ गोट का मीट है, और उसमें इन्फेक्शन हुई है, एंड वी इट इज अंडर कुक्ड, और उसको हम सही तरह पका ना लें, and the species of the anthrax, Bacillus anthrax, are there, and if we eat the meat, then we can witness the disease. We can get the infection. And the most important and the major is the hides. Hides mean the skin of the animals, the upper skin of the animals. Mainly, these also contain the species of the anthrax, mainly incorporated into the skin. And if it contact with the humans, so basically जो ज्यादातर जो ह्यूमन है, वो हाइड्स फैक्ट्रीज में काम करते हैं, and they mostly carry the hides from one place to another, so they are most vulnerable human beings to the anthrax infection. So this is was the basic definition of the anthrax. And the the black spots are basically the cutaneous anthrax. And now here come the Bacillus anthracis, the most and the agent that caused this infection. It's a brief introduction about Bacillus anthracis. It is a gram-positive, aerobic, endospore forming. Its spore can remain viable in soil and animal products for decades. ये जो है हमारे साथ ग्राम पॉजिटिव है, aerobic है, it can survive only in the presence of oxygen. It can form endospores, and these endospores are very much resistant, which give it more pathogenicity and survival to the bacteria. Okay, here is the images of Bacillus anthracis. Different images of microscopic images of Bacillus anthracis. More, this is the most resolved one, and here is different species of Bacillus anthracis. Here the transparent bodies inside these purple color Bacillus anthracis are the endospores of the Bacillus anthracis. So endospores can I mentioned it that the endospore also can be formed from Bacillus anthracis, and you should keep this in mind that in these endospores are equal to the diameter of the Bacillus anthracis, not the length but the diameter. ये जो हमारे साथ एंडोस्पोर्स है, ये बेसिकली Bacillus anthracis का जो ये स्पीशी है, ये जूम करके देख लें तो ये हमारे साथ इसके डायमीटर के काफी बराबर होता है। ये एक आइडेंटिफिकेशन है बेसिलस एंथ्राक्स के एंडोस्पोर्स के लिए। So keep this in mind for MCQs and different questions. And now come to the, as I mentioned, the types of anthraxes. So it is cutaneous anthrax, pulmonary anthrax, and gastrointestinal anthrax. And Bacillus and small node Bacillus anthracis bacteremia can develop from any form of anthrax. Means that if there is cutaneous anthrax, so हमारे साथ स्किन से होकर ये हमारे साथ ब्लड स्ट्रीम में जा सकते हैं. If it is pulmonary, so it can invade the lungs, and after that it can get to the capillaries. And if it is gastrointestinal, so it can infect the first it infects the GI tract, and after that it enters the blood. So three types of anthrax can lead to bacteremia, but the bacteria in the blood. And I have also mentioned the pictures. So just one giving you a moment, just look to the pictures. It is cutaneous anthrax, the first picture. The second picture is also cutaneous anthrax. Now come to, this is also the cutaneous anthrax. This one is the gastrointestinal anthrax. The black, we can say, black spot is here, and this is the X-ray image of pulmonary anthraxes. So hope you now understand about the types of anthraxes. Now here come the epidemiology of anthraxes, means that how it is transmitted and what are the cases that are annually producing and occurring in the world. Here we will discuss, and what is the mode of transmission. So here in human cases, direct contact with the tissues of the dead animals leading to cutaneous anthrax. अगर हमारे साथ एक टिश्यूज है एनिमल्स, डेड एनिमल्स का, और उसमें स्पोर से बैक्टीरिया है, and if it come in contact with our skin, and if there is a small cut in our skin, so it can then get to the skin. After if there is a meat that is infected with species of anthraxes, and if we eat it, and if it is undercooked, and if we eat it, so then we can witness anthrax. And if there is a contact with contaminated hair, if there is an animal and he is having an infection of anthraxes, or he is a host, or we can say reservoir host of the Bacillus anthracis, and there are species and spores of Bacillus anthracis in his wools or hides or hairs. And if it goes through the air and it is inhaled by us, so then we can lead to cutaneous anthrax, or pulmonary anthrax, or other gastrointestinal anthrax. But basically the gastrointestinal anthrax is mainly formed by the undercooked meat that contains the species of Bacillus anthracis. Here is a small animated image of the epidemiology, the how this infection can go infect us. So this text really relates to it, that it can also come in contact with the inhalation. It can also, we can also ingest it, or we can also here is the cutaneous anthrax. So if these animals are having anthraxes, and if they releases their spores to the environment, so it can be then inhaled by us. And if it come in contact with our skin, so we can also have the infection. A butterfly from infected animal, for example, here is a butterfly, sorry, it biting fly, and he gets Bacillus anthracis from the animal by biting it and sucking his blood. And if this in within a short time, if this mosquito bite it, so we can also have the infection. So these are basically, and one more time, the meat is also we can say, if it is undercooked, so we can get the infection. Mostly here is also a research that if a animal is infected, and so its milk also contain the species of Bacillus anthracis, and if we drink it, if we use it, so we can get the infection. So this was all about the epidemiology. Other slide also indicate that it can also affect the all type of ages and genders, and the most endemic areas are the Africa and the Asia. Asia and Africa continents, and in the world it is about 20,000 to 1 lakh that was witnessed in 1950. And basically, talking about the US, so 235 of total reported cases was there in US under these years. So basically, if someone asks us, so it is this bacteria and this infection is mostly occurring in the Africa and the Asia region, not basically in the US region. But and here are some of the reported cases. 18 cases inhalational one was, and this is all the information you can get. Here come the last slide, and here this is the key, the outbreaks of 2005 to 2016, 10 years of data record. And this one is the last one is the orange color is the infection that proceeded from 1,000 cases. So here are the most Canada, and this region is mostly infected one, and this type of Asia and Africa, as I mentioned. So these are the infected one. Basically, nowadays in 2021, now mostly the world is cured from Bacillus anthracis, mainly anthrax. Because now there are vaccinations and different treatment of Bacillus anthracis. It was mostly very infectious in the 1950s. So this was a brief introduction about Bacillus anthracis. We now, after this watching this video, we came to know that what basically are the signs of Bacillus anthracis, what are the types, what is anthrax, what is the species that cause anthracis, and these are the images, what are the types of anthracis, and what is the epidemiology of anthracis. So this was all about the introduction of anthracis. So stay tuned with the videos and watch all the videos related to anthrax, so then you can easily communicate with your teachers and fellows, and you can talk about it with the that what is basically anthrax. In the later videos we will discuss about more detail that how bacillus anthrax cause infection, what is the mechanism of the that how these infectious particle bacillus anthracis they release what type of toxin that cause infection, and what are the treatments of this disease, and how, and the last we will also discuss that what is the diagnosis. So stay tuned with all the videos, and now take good care of yourself. Thank you very much.